about what equivalent fractions are and how to show them using visuals like fraction strips, bar models, and number lines. Today's lesson is going to take all of those things that you've learned and help you write a strong math response for equivalent fractions. First, we're going to take you through a non-example, an example that we would not expect a fourth grader to do. And we'll take you through the 3 things you need to make sure your math response has, and then I'll show you 2 strong math examples of writing. So first, our non-example. Our question is, are 2/4 and 4/8 equivalent? How do you know? The answer is yes, because I know they're equal. This has been given to us on tests before, and this does not really show that you understand what the math concepts are. You want to make any teacher read this and really understand whether they're in our classrooms or not, really understand what our math focus is, and this answer doesn't show anything of our math focus. So let's talk about the 3 things that a strong math response does. 1, it restates the question. Just like in reading and writing, we have a topic sentence. This is your topic sentence. 2, it uses a visual representation like a picture or a model. In this lesson, when you're going to use a visual representation, we are expecting either a number line or fraction strips. You can pick whatever you like better, whichever one can really show your thinking. This is like your evidence in your writing. And then explains the steps you take in words. You can't just plop 2 images down on your paper and be done. You need to explain what they mean and how they support your answer. This is like your explanation. So this is your text evidence, and this is your explanation. You all are pros at this in writing, and so now you just need to translate it into math. So let's look at a strong example. Are 2/4 and 4/8 equivalent? How do you know? First, let's restate the question. Yes, 2/4 and 4/8 are equivalent fractions. Step 2, here's a model. Here's a bar model to show both fractions. Here's fraction strips. Same thing. I drew 2 different bar models of the fraction. I made sure that they were the exact same size, and I showed each of those fractions. Then step 3 is explain clearly. I know they are equivalent because when I divided a whole into 4 parts and shaded 2, it covers the same amount as when I divided a whole into 8 parts and shaded 4. This means that both fractions represent the same value. I literally just explained what I did here. No one's watching you draw this, so you need to tell them exactly what you're doing so that this can prove your topic sentence. Let's look at another example. We have 1/2 and 3/6. So are 1/2 and 3/6 equivalent? How do you know? Restate the question. Yes, 1/2 and 3/6 are equivalent fractions. Step 2, use a model. For this example, I used a number line. Here's a number line to show both fractions. I made sure that the lines on my number line were the exact same size, and I made sure to draw it evenly. Now I'm explaining. I know they're equivalent because when I created 2 number lines, one divided into 2 parts and a half marked, the other divided into 6 parts with 3 6 marked, the fractions line up at the exact same spot, showing that they are equivalent. Topic sentence, text evidence, explanation. Your evidence is just showing your work. For these examples, we want fraction strips and number lines. So let's take a look again at the 3 things. Restate the question, visual representation, explain the steps. Here's the classwork that you're going to be working on. So the first one is this sheet right here, explaining equivalence. These 3 students are going to talk to you about their thoughts on equivalent fractions, and they have some ideas, and you need to prove who was right and who was wrong. We are looking for those 3 things to prove, and it looks like right here they're giving you number lines to use as your evidence. So you need to make sure that your number lines are matching your explanation, and these lines should be filled to show that you know what's going on. And then your next page, you're given a set of fractions. These first 2, you need to explain how you know they're equivalent with the same 3 steps. For these second 2 examples, you need to find the 2 fractions that are equivalent. There are 3 fractions in these set. Only 2 of them are equivalent, so you need to find them and explain. If these boxes are just not big enough or you want lined paper, you may go grab lined paper, number these 1, 2, and 3, and explain it on that paper, as long as you are labeling the fractions and having everything you need for a strong 4th grade math response. Good luck.